Hey yo, it's J Rhymes here, back at it again with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Let's get to it. So, y'all, a lot of people don't even see me without my glasses. Some people say I look different. I don't know. I got that crease because of my fucking glasses. Yeah. Nah, I just went to a job interview today. And what I'm realizing about this world is that things are way more complicated than they need to be. You know what I mean? Let's get into it, because I haven't even made a podcast yet. I haven't made a podcast in a few weeks. I have to get back into that. If you haven't followed my podcast, it's on Spotify. I'll put the link down in the description. Go listen to it. I talk about different things, spirituality, growth, music, everything like that. But I don't understand why things got to be so complicated nowadays. Like, I went to this job interview today. I thought everything was going good. Things were kind of moving slow, whatever. And I was kind of confused because I was like, why is it moving so slow? And I realized that back then, right, you used to go get a job, right? And how to get a job was you go in, you show yourself in person, you know, write, you know, that you're willing to apply on paper or whatever. They give you, you know, a call back, whatever. And so whatever. Now it's like everything's online. You go in, you don't even know if you got the job. They say they're going to email you, never email you. And it's just this long ass process of just like waiting for people to respond. And for me, it's like, why can't people be more consistent? Because they want consistency out of you, but they don't want to be consistent themselves. And I think that's like the problem with people, because a lot of people in this world are very they're very like iffy about like what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it. And I think it's like one-sided, where it's like it doesn't make any sense. And for me, it just never made sense on like the job and all this, you know, these new nuances that they have to apply for a job. Where I'm getting at is consistency. Like, okay, so that's the main root of this video. Consistency. In order to do anything, you got to be consistent. So when I make music, I'm consistent. I have like around 13.2k plays on my music. I have 1 point something followers. And I'm learning that consistency, especially in music, is very crucial to how you're gonna make it, how you're gonna fundamentally make it. I make a song a day, and I used to make 3 songs a day, depending on how I was feeling and what I really wanted to talk about. But consistency in anything, whether it's music, whether it's life, whether it's jobs, whatever, it's everything, is consistency that plays a part. I'm not really good with consistency. I know a lot of people are procrastinators as well. I'm a hypocrite, because I'm a, you know, procrastinator sometimes as well. But it comes into a thing of like, consistency is not just a skill, it's a lifestyle. Because I'm realizing that if you want anything to happen, people are like, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that, but you got to put action into being consistent. And I think it's about changing your whole perspective and your whole lifestyle to be like, this is what I need to do. I need to change this, and that, to be more consistent, to be more fundamentally there mentally. Because most of consistency is a mental job. It's a mental job to get up every day at the same time. It's a mental job to do the same thing over and over again, the same day and throughout. It starts with the mind. You know how people say manifestation and whatever not. Consistency is the same way. Like, you gotta start like with your mind. And I'm realizing that I haven't really been the most consistent person, but I'm looking for consistency throughout everybody. So how can I look for consistency if I'm not consistent? You know what I mean? Because you want other people to be consistent with your time, with everything that you have going on. But you don't want to be consistent on the other side when people got shit to do and when people got other things to do and you wasting their time and whatever not. And I'm realizing that it's an energetic thing. It's an energetic thing within yourself. Once you start being consistent, once you start loving yourself enough to be consistent and go and do the things you love, because you're never going to really be consistent if you're doing the things you hate, because you're always going to find something that's bad about it. But if you're being consistent with the things you love, you are going to be making a good habit. You're going to form a good habit. I feel like it's so easy to be consistent on the bad habits than it is to be on the good habits, because like I said, when you're doing something negative, or you're doing something that's a bad habit, it's easy to get sucked in. It's easy not to think about it. It's easy to just like not think about it. But when you're doing positive habits, and when you are taking time to be consistent in that positive thing, it's going to take work. It's going to take time. It's going to be conscious. It's going to be 100 full force consciousness. And I think that when you do negative things, sometimes it's not so conscious, it's subconscious. You don't even realize you're doing it. And then you start getting these bad habits. You're like, why do I have bad habits? Why are people saying that I'm this way and this way? It's because you don't even realize you are that way. And so what I'm trying to say is being consistent with the things you love and the things that you want to progress. If you have goals, be consistent with it. If you have things that you want to change about yourself, be consistent with it. And this is just, I think I'm talking to myself right now, because I'm trying to tell myself that I need to be more consistent in what I'm doing. If I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for something, I got to figure out what I like, what I don't like, and be consistent in finding a job that I like and want to do. I know I love music, so I'm consistent with that. And then everything else falls out the window, because I think that it's only about one thing, but it's about everything in your life. Be consistent be consistent with, how you sleep, your sleeping habits. You gotta be consistent with that. For me, not so much. I have insomnia. That's not an excuse, but it's a medical condition. So it's kind of hard for me sometimes to be consistent. But I'm working on goals, so I can't make excuses. If I'm really trying, I gotta be like, I'm gonna sleep at 10 o'clock every day. I'm gonna eat breakfast every day. I'm gonna exercise every day and be consistent with it. And yeah, it might seem hard to get into the, rhythmic feeling of, doing that every day and the routineness of it. But once you start doing it, you'll realize that the consistency is what is making you get to your goals. The consistency, you're not gonna see it at first, and that's the thing too. Like, if you think you're gonna get instant gratification, you're not. Because most of the negative things you do, smoking, drinking, all the stuff that I've even done, and I'm guilty for doing, smoking, drinking, and doing all these things, like, you don't even realize that you're being consistent. When you smoke every day, you're being consistent. When you're drinking every day, you're being consistent. But on the negative side. And you don't even see it as consistency, because it feels like it's just not even there. Like, you don't even fucking think about that shit. It's just something to do. And when you realize how much consistency you put into the wrong things, you'll realize, like, oh shit, like, I gotta change that. I gotta fix that, because that's not what I want to be. And a lot of the consistent things you're doing are really bad for your mind. Like we talked in the beginning, it's bad for your mind because it's altering endorphins. You're looking for instant gratification. So when you smoke, you're getting endorphins that are, boosting your serotonin when you're smoking. When you're drinking, you're boosting your endorphins. Yes, that, alcohol is a downer, but people, drink alcohol to go have fun. So when you go and do that every single day or every single week, and you're consistent going every single week doing that, you're boosting your serotonin levels to a point that naturally you can't even get to, because now, you're just doing it for instant gratification. Just like technology, for instance, we on our phone consistently every day. We all to blame, like, all to blame. If you're watching this video, you know that you're consistent on technology every day. And that's fine. But we need to start putting the consistency into the right things. Because I bet you, if you start putting yourself, and I'm talking to myself, if I start putting myself into a consistent pattern of doing the right thing by myself and doing it so I can grow, being consistent so I can grow, bro, I'm gonna be a whole different person. I know I'm gonna be a whole different person. And I'm telling you to do the same thing, because we need to start doing this together as a collective of group, wanting better for each other. Because at the end of the day, people make excuses all like, you know, I've worked so long, like, you know, I did all this and whatever, I'm tired, I just want instant gratification, I just want this and that. No. We gotta be more strict with ourselves, because we say we want to grow, we say we want to live a good life, we say we want to be healthy, we want to exercise, we want to look like that person. We can look like that person. We don't even need to look like that person. We can look like ourselves, but better. And the thing about it is, if you want to look like, you know, skinny or built or buff or whatever, be consistent about it. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to be more sound in the mind, start meditating every day. Be consistent with it. If you want to cleanse your body and detox your body of all the waste and whatever not, and eat properly, be consistent with it. Like, it's all the things that we say that we want, but it's the fundamental thing that we don't have is consistency. We don't have consistency because we think it's too hard. We rather focus on the negative that gives us instant gratification, builds our serotonin to the utmost, to the point we can't even reach it naturally, and then be like, oh, well, you know, I'm still not where I want to be. I'm still not where I want to be, you know. And it's like, I do the same fucking thing, and I'm tired of doing that. I'm realizing that I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the problem because it starts with me. And when people say that, I always got it confused. Like, it starts with me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It starts with me. That's why, you know, if somebody didn't put me in that situation, I wouldn't be here and blah, blah, blah. Complaining. We consistently complaining, but we're not consistently doing nothing about it. We're not consistently putting the action in every day. We're not consistently being who we need to be every day. And that's perfectly fine, because it's going to take time. But if you start, like, the first thing that changes everything is you realizing that. And that's what I'm realizing. And I want you guys to realize that to better yourself if you're in a position where you don't want to be. Because we're all in a position we don't want to be. But I think it starts with consistency. And all the videos I made basically just confirm consistency. Loving yourself is consistently giving yourself affirmations and realizing that you're beautiful. Knowing your self-worth is the same thing. You know, loving yourself and self-worth. Knowing your self-worth is giving yourself time to be like, I am beautiful, I am strong, I know who I am, nobody can tell me nothing. And saying that every day. You know, exercising and losing weight is the same thing. Like, you gotta be consistent to lose weight. You can't just lose weight. You can't just, you know, exercise one day and not exercise another. You know, you gotta exercise and be, you know, consistent in what you're doing. I think that a lot of people shy away from consistency because you got to commit to it. And when you commit to somebody or you commit to something, right, it takes a lot of effort out of you. And a lot of people don't want to go through that effort. A lot of people don't want to be consistent and commit to what they want. They can say it all they want, but if they're not putting the action in, it don't matter, right? So for me, I think it's, you know, not liking commitment that makes you not be consistent. Let me say that again. Is you not liking commitment that makes you not be consistent? Because if you liked and wanted, you know, to commit to something, you would be more committed. You know what I mean? To doing that. They all play a role. And I think that once you learn commitment and want to commit to bettering yourself, not for anybody else but you, because you're beautiful and you're handsome and you're gorgeous and you're all these things, whether you're male or female, I don't care. Once you learn how to commit to something is when you'll be consistent with it, and it will be easier for you. And this is something I'm telling myself right now, because I'm a hypocrite. We all are hypocrites. But if you want to better yourself, you got to sacrifice to be... I just spit out all over there. I'm sorry. You got to be, you know, you got to sacrifice things that are negative. When people say sacrifice, don't sacrifice the good parts about you, because those are the things you're going to want back. But sacrifice the bad things about yourself, or the things that you think you should fix. Because I don't think anything's bad, because we all make mistakes. But learning the lessons of the negative things you've done to your body and to your environment and everything that has affected you to not grow, you need to sacrifice those things to be able to commit to it to then be able to be consistent with it. And I think once you get those words, commit, consistent, and sacrifice, is when you'll be able to be a new person, because you'll be reborn into your own mind of being a fresh outlook on life. Once you sacrifice and realize that you're ready to commit to being consistent. And I think that this needs to be said, and it needs to be broadcasted, because I feel like it's in me, it's in everybody. We like to talk too much, especially now that we got social media. We just like to talk too much. We like to play a role. We like to, act like somebody we're not, because we think that's what is good and what is going to get us somewhere. Talking's not going to get you nowhere. The only thing talking's going to get you is probably for somebody to understand your perspective. But it is not going to change your reality. It's not going to change where you're at, because you're not putting action to being consistent to change the negative notation that you're putting onto yourself. Break that old karmic energy. Break the old karmic energy, because right now in this world, we need to start breaking karmic energy. We need to start breaking what people have put on us for thousands of years, our ancestors and whatever not. We got to start breaking that within us. We need to start breaking the old habits and flush our system and detox our energy to be more consistent, so we as people can be where we need to be within ourselves and our life. And I promise, I swear, if I start doing this, I know spiritually and mentally, just like in the world, I'll be good. Because consistency is a skill. Commitment is a skill. Once you learn those two fundamental things that go hand in hand, is when you'll be able to change your whole life forever. Be consistent in saving money. You can't save money if you're not consistent. If you don't commit every month or every 2 weeks or whatever to save $5, $10, you're not going to get to $1,000. You're not going to get to 10,000, because you're not committing to it. You're not consistently putting in 5, putting in 10, putting in whatever. You're not consistent with it. So you're not going to save money. It's just natural. Nobody can save money if they don't be consistent and sacrifice not spending money. But why would we not want to spend money? Because it's an instant gratification. You know that if you have that money, you can go spend it now and get what you want. But later, you're going to be crying because you ain't got no money and be able to buy bigger and better things. We'd rather the small gratification now than the bigger and better things. Hear me out. We'd rather the small gratification now than the bigger and better things. And that's for anything, not even money. Why do we want the small instant gratification now when we can have the bigger and better things? We could have the better mindset. We could have the better car. We could have the better skin. We could have the better body for ourselves. But we want the small instant gratification now. We want to eat those chips. We want to smoke that blunt. We want to drink that alcohol. We want to go and party every day. We want to, but we don't want to better our minds, learn knowledge, be fit, be spiritually happy, be mentally happy, be physically happy. We don't want to have a bigger bank account so we can buy better things. No. Consistency is everything. Consistency is everything. And I think that once you commit is when you can be consistent, and once you sacrifice is when you can do both. That's it, guys. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment. I want to hear what you got to say about commitment, consistency, and sacrifice, because I feel like that is the fundamental of changing your whole life and your whole perspective. Like I said, I am to blame too, but I'm working on myself. And now that I realize that is when I can change. You can't change if you don't realize it. So God bless. Love y'all. Peace. And thank you for giving me the time to express how I feel. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you. Peace.